Hello and welcome to step 4 in adding line sensing to our Wizibots. In this step we're going to be adding in the motor control. Once we have added in the motor control, the robot should start driving around and we should actually be able to get the robot to follow a line. First thing that I want you to do then is create a new tab. Click on the 3 little dots underneath the serial monitor and click new tab. In the dialog that appears, type in the words motor control and click OK. Once that new tab has appeared, I want you to type in the following code, pause the video, type in the code, and then resume the video. Now that we've typed in this code, let's have a look at what is in this code. Okay, the first thing that we have is the void initialize motors function. This is fairly straightforward. We're just setting the pin modes for all 4 pins that are going to control our motors. We've done this before with our motor control. This is nothing new. Next, what we have is void start motors function. This is simply going to set the left and right motor speeds to the calibrated motor speeds that have loaded off the EEPROM. Okay, so when we want to start the motors driving in any direction, we need to call start motors. And then after that, we have 3 functions. We have the drive forwards function, the turn left function, and the turn right function. These simply swap over the high and low on the direction pins to ensure that the motors drive in the directions that we want. To drive forwards, both the pins go high. To turn to the left, we set the left motor direction to low to reverse it, and the right motor direction to high to make it go forwards. That will spin it in the left direction. And then to turn right, we set the left motor direction to high in order to go forwards, and the right motor direction to low in order to turn that one backwards. That will turn the robot to the right. Next, I want you to go to your main code file and make the following modifications. I'll split this down into 2 slides again, just like before, as the code is quite long. Type in this code and then resume the video. Now that we've typed in the code, it's fairly straightforward. Okay, we're defining the motor pins just like we have in the past. We've got the left motor direction, left motor speed, and then the right motor direction and right motor speed. These are the pins on the Wizibot shield. At the bottom there, we just in the setup need to call initialize the motor pins. Okay, and that's going to initialize the motors. And that code is found in that motor control tab that we just typed in. Next, we're going to modify the loop function. So I want you to go down to your loop function and make the following changes. Pause the video, and when you've made the changes, resume the video. Okay, now that you've typed in the code changes, let's have a quick look at what we changed. The first thing that we changed is we added that start motors function. We added it into when we pressed the button B1 because this is when we're going to start the robot going. It comes in after we initialize our line sensors, and that just starts those motors moving at the speed that we calibrated in the EEPROM. Okay, so the robot should now start driving. Next, what we do, when we sense the line on the left, we are going to make the robot turn to the left. So we can make a call to that turn left function. That effectively means whenever the line sensor on the left sees the line, it should turn to the left to try and keep the line away from that sensor. Okay, so it should try and keep that line in the center between the left and right sensors. Okay, if we don't detect it on the left, then we detect it on the right. What we then want to do is we want to turn the robot towards the right for the same reason. Okay, we're trying to keep that line in between the 2 sensors. So whenever it sees it on the right, it's going to turn to the right to keep it inside the center. If neither of the sensors detect a line, we're then simply going to drive forwards. Okay, so the robot will drive forwards until it detects the line. Okay, so that is pretty much the line sensing and the driving of the robot. Now that the code is ready, you can upload that to your Arduino. Okay, once you've uploaded it, I want you to unplug the USB cable, get over to the course and plug in a battery. Nothing should happen at this point because we haven't pressed the button yet. Okay, so in theory, nothing should happen. If something happens, we've got something wrong with our code. Okay, what I then want you to do is place the robot over the line so that the line sits between the 2 sensors. So it shouldn't be under any of the sensors. It should basically be in the center of the robot. Okay, when you are ready, I then want you to press button B1 on the shield. That should start the program. It'll initialize the sensors, take readings off the desk that are not the line, so it knows what the baseline is for the standard reflectance of the desk. And then the robot should start to drive forwards. Whenever it detects the line under either of the sensors, it should turn effectively away from the line, thereby keeping the line between the 2 sensors. Okay, just watch your robot, be careful, okay, just in case it misses the line or there's a problem. Be ready to catch the robot. It does not have any drop detection or anything at the moment, and that means it could very easily just fall off the desk if you're not keeping an eye on it. So just keep an eye on it, but hopefully it's all working as needed. If we have any problems, if the robot appears to be turning in the wrong direction, you may have the left and right sensors plugged in the wrong way around, okay? Or you may have typed in the left turn and right turn the wrong way around. Just check your code. If you're still having problems, let me know and we'll have a look and we'll try to isolate the problem.